outcoached, outplayed, outworked, and then got a little unlucky on a couple things. I felt like the game in the first half, as we missed, I think, 6 or 7 free throws, including some front ends of a one-on-one, started to get away. The turnovers. We end up with 14, they have 15, that's a joke. I think we had 7 in the first 5 minutes. And, we just didn't get a lot of play out of a lot of people. And yet we got some play out of some people that did a hell of a job. Marcus Bingham actually did a great job. I did not appreciate the way some of those were called inside. I thought we had pretty good verticality, but I guess they thought not, but that had nothing to do with the game. As I said, outcoached, outplayed, and outworked. Cassius, a lot on his plate. And when we started putting too many young guys in, when Xavier got in foul trouble, that we kind of went away from what we were going to run. But Xavier bounced back and did a pretty good job. And, they hit shots, guys. They hit some shots that I haven't seen them hit. And consequently, better team won, probably by a worse score than it was. So I'll take questions.
Vernon Carey, obviously you knew he was good, you recruited him. Your thoughts on how he played tonight?
He played really well. He's a good kid, good player. I was a little upset. I thought if they're going to let him finish through you, but it is what it is. I thought our guys did a pretty good job on him most of the time. Sometimes they were just outmatched with size, and sometimes, they did a good job of getting it in there. Once they subbed, it actually hurt us. The Moore kid is not as good a shooter, and this was one game that Baker, made every shot he took, and then, when we cut it to 8 and subbed a little, and they missed the free throw. We didn't get the rebound, they banked the 3 in. I thought, those kind of plays are just unexcusable. We don't give up missed free throws, and yet I think that was their effort. I thought their effort was phenomenal.
Coach, I know you haven't seen the film yet, but are there any bright spots that come to mind now, or is it too soon?
Yeah, it's probably too soon. I'm embarrassed that a player that I love came back here and probably laid some of the groundwork with Mateen Cleaves on toughness, and I didn't think that we played with that tonight. I'm sure there were some bright spots. Xavier definitely was one, and I thought, Marcus was one, and I thought a couple guys competed. I thought Rocket competed, and I thought some guys, didn't compete as well. And but that's my job. So anyone should be held accountable for that as me.
Tom, as you talked earlier this season, it's been so abnormal in every way. Do you just wait for normalcy to come? You can't really push it. Is that in every way, not just the cash, but the rotation and everything else? How do you wait for normalcy to come?
Well, I was told by a couple of very important people to me that you don't wait for normalcy. I'm just not doing a very good job of pushing that. When the year started, we didn't think we'd be starting, more or less a freshman and a guy who hadn't played in that position. And so that's part of it. And, but there's no reason that you don't play harder. I'm just telling you, that falls on me. So those that want to rip, you should rip. We've been through more hell than I think I've ever been through in my career here, as far as some, things that happen that kind of set you back. But at the same time, that has no basis for why you don't play hard. And I just thought that, we looked like the moment was too big. And I think, a couple of the biggest, probably I said the turnovers were big, the missed free throws were big, but if there was one area that our freshmen really struggled in tonight, it was, you know how many balls, including the one when the guy made a ridiculous call, and Grant be worth it, you know, in a goaltending. They blocked about 5 others at the rim. They were layups. They weren't, and only one was a bad call. The others, they made great plays, and you know, we just didn't go strong enough. We just didn't understand that, and yet the second half, you know, we did some things better. We started to go a little more inside. We just couldn't keep it going that stretch. We cut it to 8, and then you know, they banked that one in. It's kind of the way the night goes. So yeah, it's been different. It's been a different month, and the month should be a reason why we struggle in some areas, but not playing hard. So that falls on me.
Tom, what did you think was happening with Aaron? I saw Gabe obviously starts the second half. He just seemed a little passive. Aaron, I mean, it wasn't really in rhythm, I guess, tonight. What do you think was going on with him?
I don't know. You know, Aaron, I don't know. I really don't. Next question.
Mayor Coach, what ultimately led to the decision to put Marcus into the starting lineup, and is that something that can kind of be expected, or is it just kind of depend on who's playing?
Well, you know, we're experimenting there, which we knew we would be. I was actually very pleased in a lot of ways with Malik Hall. You know, I mean, he played. I think he had 8 boards, didn't he? And you know, he was 3 for 8 from the field and 3 for 5 from the line. He's a good free throw shooter, but 9 points, 3 assists, 8 boards. Pretty good production for a freshman. Marquis has been improving, and I think has worked. Maybe him and Gabe have probably worked the hardest. And you know, I thought Gabe struggled a little bit tonight too, but his stats are pretty good. You know, we just didn't get the production that we needed, and as I said, I felt that it came in 3 ways: turnovers, missed free throws, and blocks at the rim. And they deserve credit for 2 of those 3.
Tom, with Cash and Rocket when they're struggling like that, you know, you put Foster in early to try and get Cash the message, but where
I just put him in early because we were going to run a certain thing, and I wanted to explain it to Cassius, so I just told him for 20 seconds. And you know, that was another incredible call. Foster's laying on the floor, and a guy comes down on him. I was trying to figure that one out too, but hard to complain about officiating when you coached as bad as I must have coached. So that was nothing. I mean, that was just, yeah, we're trying to get Cassius going, but there were certain things that we had talked about, and they did a good job. They did a good job jumping him and taking him out of things. And you know, if you would have watched film, we did some of the similar things, and some guys hit some shots. I mean, I think they banked in 2. I guess we banked in 1 too, but just the way the game went. I mean, they looked like they were more aggressive the whole game.
Coach, obviously you guys decided to play Vernon Carey one-on-one. Was that something you came into the game looking to do, and did you guys look to adjust that at all as the game went on?
Yeah, we started digging a little bit more. We actually, it's the funny part, we didn't play him one-on-one. It looked like it, and I agree with you, but we were supposed to be digging, and that's where some of our wings just kind of struggled tonight. We did a better job of it the second half, and like I said, he's a load in there, especially if he's going to jump right through you. And he made some plays, but he made a lot of free throws too. I think he got there 12 or 14 times. So, you know, give the credit to him. He played good. And they went into him, and you know, we thought they would. They haven't been, believe it or not, they haven't been shooting the ball very well. Tonight they made everything. And that's what good teams do. They find a way to play above the way they've been playing if they're going to win big games on the road, and they did that.
Tom, for years, coaches that have gone through from the ACC Big Ten to Maui
have tried to figure out how to handle those days on the return when you have a big game right after that. I know you've done this before, but you're not the first to have a poor outing right after Maui. How did you want to handle this that fatigue factor coming east?
Yeah, we talked about it. I think every coach has talked about that some. Talked to a lot of guys about it, and you're right. It's not been great for a lot of people, but that's not every person. But again, it's just there's something you can see in the eyes of a person, and I saw it in their eyes. I didn't see it in our eyes, and I don't think I'm going to use Maui. I don't think I'm. I can only tell you it's been a hell of a month for a lot of reasons. Playing good people, playing on the road a lot. I mean, this was our third home game. There's teams that never left their state. We didn't do that, and maybe I am the dumb one. But is that a reason to miss free throws? Is that a reason to turn the ball over? Maybe if your legs are gone, you miss a shot. Maybe you don't rebound as well. I mean, even the rebound, I don't know. I don't know how some of these numbers ended up like they are. I think maybe his home court stat crew. They had one more turnover than us, didn't seem like it. They had 2 more rebounds than us, didn't seem like it. They made 3 or 4 more field goals than us, didn't seem like it. So maybe Matt Larson deserves the star of the game because it seems like they outplayed us in a lot of areas. But I said that the one area that maybe gets unnoticed, 11 blocks. 11 blocks. I don't think I've had a team that has ever gotten 11 shots blocked in a game. And I'll bet you of those 11, 10 of them were at the rim. They were at the rim. I mean, it wasn't like they were shots out on the perimeter or shots that are hook shots. They were at the rim. And you got to give them a lot of credit for that.
And I think you'll see that those shots led to some of the runouts.
Well, I think of our 14 turnovers, I think 10 of them were steals, which means those are live ball turnovers. And most of those are runouts, which led to the 17-4 fast break points. And you're not gonna be able to do that and win. So we got to get some guys playing better. I don't know. It seems like the world caves in on you now, but it really doesn't. I mean, we played some very good basketball, and we played some mediocre basketball, and I appreciate that half out Andy for me. And I would probably, I probably wouldn't use it, but I might use a little bit of it, except it happened early. As the game wore on, I could see us dragging. Now, I have said this. It's probably in my career been the hardest to practice the last 3.5 weeks of ever I've been a coach here for a variety of reasons. Some of it is the travel. New York, get back at 4 in the morning twice. Maui, they're all good excuses. But we just didn't do the things we needed to do. So I'm gonna have to get back. We get tomorrow off, and then we get 3-4 days to practice, and we just gotta start practicing better, and we'll play better. And I'm saying all this, and I don't know what Mike said in here, but he said to me, they played probably as good as they can play. They made shots. They've been shooting 33% from the 3. They've been shooting 40-some% from the field. They made shots. They made a lot of shots, and some of it led because of the layups early. Vernon Carey, has been a poor free throw shooter. I think he made 10 in a row or something, and he missed a couple. Made shots, and that's the great part of this game.
The 2 final ones, Chris and Steven.
Coach, the Duke mystique, you guys beat them obviously last year in 05. What is it early on in these non-conference games where it's...
Well, let's get something straight. There is no mystique. They've beaten our ass. We've found a way to win a game or 2 here or there. There's no mystique. It's happened. It's fact, as I said. And And that's gotta lead to, different players, same coach. So coach gotta take responsibility for that. And, but it's not like first of all, we played them a lot down there. We played a lot neutral. We played here twice. In fact, the worst 2 losses we've had have been here. But, there is no mystique about it. They've handed it to us, and on a regular basis. And a lot of times they've got really good teams. I think I looked it up. I think they were 1, 2 in the country more often than not. So, we play them. And I'm going to just keep doing what I've always done, just keep chopping at it. Maybe I'll get that tree to knock down sooner or later. I don't look at last year as any big deal. It was a win. It wasn't, they've beaten us a hell of a lot more we've beaten them.
Last one, Stephen.
Tom, did you have Draymond talk to the guys either before or after?
No, I think he would have talked to him after. He had so many things going on before, and he, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't say, what a shame for me, for our fans, and really for him. This thing meant the world to him. I'd never seen a guy so excited about coming back. And when I'm sitting in my office and Steve Kerr comes in and the owners of the Warriors and, Thompson is there and Zaza is there and GM is there and so many people, Jared Jazz flew in, Denzel, they all flew in. And you're sure it was to watch a good game, but I think it was to honor a guy that kind of stands for what we are. The team started it and did an unbelievable job, and then, Draymond kind of took it over, and I feel bad about that because it should have been one of those nights that, you hope is a memory-making night, and didn't get to enjoy it with him. He'll understand. He's been through his ups and downs, as everybody has. But I sure do feel bad because I'm so proud of that kid and what he's done. And talking to Steve Kerr a little bit, I'm proud of even how he's handling it now. They're 4-18, and he's handling it very well. And so that probably is as big a disappointment for me on a night of somebody that I appreciate, love, and respect. And you'd hope you'd play harder to honor that. Not necessarily better. Better, shots are gonna go in, they're not gonna go in, but harder. And I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at what we've been through with Cash. I'm gonna look at, the adjustments with Josh. I'm gonna look at the Hawaii thing. I'm gonna look at all of them. But I know this, we're 5-3. We've lost to 2 very good teams. We got beat by a team over there that played well, and I can only say that we have not been able to practice that well. And what coaches say is the truth. Sometimes you play like you practice. And we hardly even practiced before the Seton Hall game. But I didn't think we played with the sense of urgency you need to play. And is there reasons? And it's my job to get them ready. And so I'm gonna do a better job of getting them ready. And yet I'm not, I won't panic like most fans because I've been here so many times before. And I understand that teams have their nights, and I give Duke a lot of credit. They outplayed us in every aspect of the game, and they made most of their free throws, missed a couple at the end, made some jump shots, but I think it was their tenacity and their defense. And I told them like that. I said, I thought defensively they were better than I even saw in film, and yet offensively we were even worse than I saw in film. So hopefully we'll get that straightened out because it doesn't get any easier now. We got 2 Big Ten games in the next 3 games, I think, right? 4 games, and so there's not a lot of rest for the wicked here. And I set up the schedule so I get no complaints. But I maybe do have to look at a certain few things that some of you brought up and figure them out. But I think tonight we just we gotta take it to us early and we didn't respond, then maybe it's some of our youth, in all honesty, and we're gonna have to get better at that. Thanks.